The Boy in the Box, America's Unknown Child. Imagine a chilly February day in 1957, a quiet Philadelphia suburb, and a young boy found dead inside a cardboard box, his identity a secret that stayed buried for over 60 years. This is the story of The Boy in the Box, a heartbreaking mystery that gripped the nation, dubbed America's Unknown Child, and kept millions guessing. Who was he, and how did he end up there? It's a tale so haunting, so strange. It's racked up headlines, TV specials, and endless theories, finally cracking open in 2022 with a name that only deepened the enigma. Why did no one claim him? What monster left him in that box? And how did this case stay cold so long? Let's dive into this wild, gut-wrenching ride, tracing the discovery, the decades-long hunt, and the jaw-dropping reveal that's still blowing minds today. It all started on February 25, 1957, in a wooded patch of Fox Chase, a sleepy corner of northeast Philadelphia. A 26-year-old college kid, checking rabbit traps, stumbled across something he'd never unsee. A cardboard box, about 3 feet long, tucked under bushes near Susquehanna Road. Curiosity got him. He peeked inside and froze. A small boy, maybe 4 or 5 years old, curled up naked, his thin frame bruised and battered, his light brown hair crudely chopped like someone hacked it off in a rush. His blue eyes stared blankly, lifeless, his body stiff from the cold. Shaken, the guy bolted to call the cops, kicking off a case that had haunted Philly for generations. Police swarmed the scene, their heavy coats crunching frost as they cordoned off the spot. The boy weighed just 30 pounds, half what a kid his age should, and his skin bore fresh bruises, especially around his head and face, dark purple against pale flesh. His hands and feet were wrinkled, like he'd been soaked in water, and his nails were neat, oddly clean for a body dumped in the wild. The box, a J.C. bassinet carton, still crisp despite recent rain, held no fingerprints, just a faint blue blanket wrapped around him. Nearby, a man's blue cap sat discarded, a lone breadcrumb in the dirt. This wasn't a random drop, someone staged it, and that sent chills deeper than the winter air. The coroner dug in fast. Blunt force trauma to the head, multiple blows, killed him quick. His stomach held crumbs of a last meal, maybe beans or bread, eaten hours before death. No drugs, no poison, just a beating too brutal for a kid that small. X-rays showed old scars, broken bones that had healed wrong, hinting at months, maybe years of abuse. His right arm bore tiny marks, possibly from a medical drip, and his fingers had faint dye stains. Had he been hidden, died, disguised? The weirdest kicker, despite the buzz, no parent, no neighbor, no soul came forward to say, "That's my boy." In a city of 2 million, he was a ghost. Cops hit the ground running. Door to door, flyers plastered on every pole, his photo in every paper. They dressed his body in a little suit, snapped a post-mortem shot, big eyes, round cheeks, a face you'd never forget, and mailed it to thousands. Do you know this child? Nothing. They fingerprinted him, nothing in the system. Orphanages, hospitals, schools, no missing kid matched. The J.C. Penney box traced to a store on 69th Street. 12 sold that December. Cash deals, no names. The cap, mass-made, a dead end. This wasn't just a murder, it was erasure, and that lit a fire under Philly PD. Why'd it stay cold? That's the gut punch. In 1957, missing kids weren't tracked like today. No national databases, no Amber Alerts. If he'd been hidden, locked in a basement off the grid, no one would report him gone. Detectives chased tips. Hundreds flooded in, from psychics to neighbors swearing they'd seen him, but every lead fizzled. They drained ponds, dug yards, grilled suspects, zero. By 1960, the case was ice cold, but it wouldn't die. Cops dubbed him America's Unknown Child, buried him in a donated plot with a stone reading, "Heavenly Father, bless this unknown boy," and vowed to keep digging. Theories piled up like snowdrifts. A family cover-up, unwanted kid, beaten dead, dumped to dodge shame. Abuse ran deep. Those old fractures screamed it. But why no ID? Some pointed to foster homes. Records were spotty. Kids slipped through cracks. Others saw a drifter's work. A transient passing through, no ties, no trace. A wilder take, a secret experiment, medical or worse, floated from the dye and drip marks, but no proof stuck. The strangest snag. For 65 years, no one claimed him. Not a whisper, not a tear, like he'd never existed. The hunt never quit. Detectives passed it down like a torch. New eyes, new tech, same brick wall. In 1998, they exhumed him. Bones brittle, DNA faint, hoping science had cracked it. Mitochondrial tests narrowed his roots. European, maybe Irish. But no family pinged. VDOC Society sleuths jumped in. Nothing. By 2000, TV specials and Reddit threads kept it alive. Millions hooked on this faceless boy's fate. Then, in 2022, the bombshell dropped. DNA magic and genealogy wizards nailed it. Joseph Augustus Zarelli, born January 13, 1953, to a Philly family. Joseph's name hit like a thunderclap. 65 years of unknown shattered, but opened a bigger can of worms. Records showed a troubled home, parents split, siblings scattered, but no one reported him gone. Was he hidden, beaten, erased by kin too ashamed to speak? The coroner's files stayed sealed. Privacy for the living, they said, leaving his deaths why a black hole. Cops called it a win, but for millions, it's half a story. Joseph's killer's still out there, his last day a blank slate. Over 60 years later, the boy in the box burns bright. Found February 25, 1957, in a bassinet carton, he stayed a ghost till 2022, when Joseph Zarelli's name lit up the dark. The bruises, the box, the silence, it's a mystery too raw, too real to shake. Was it family shame, a drifter's rage, or a secret too big to tell? Every clue twists your gut, every theory hooks you hard, and this tale's primed to hit 1 million views. Because who doesn't want to know the truth? Craving more wild mysteries. Cases that grip, shock, and stick with you. Join Mystery Pulse for the next insane drop. Subscribe now and smash that bell to catch every wild twist.